Good evening. I'm going to call us to order for the Hickmanmills School Board meeting on today is Thursday, October 27th, 2022, and as our regular session for the October board meeting. I will call us to order at 6:04. Ms. Hicks, could you please call the roll?
Ms. Berger?
Here.
Ms. Barmore?
Here.
Ms. Coleman?
Here.
Ms. Graves?
Here.
Ms. Kendrick?
Here.
Mr. Townsend?
Here.
Mr. McGee?
Here. 7 members present. I'm now looking for a motion to adopt the agenda.
President, I move that we adopt the agenda as written.
A second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Ms. Hicks, would you please call the roll to adopt the agenda?
Ms. Berger?
Yes.
Ms. Barmore?
Yes.
Ms. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Graves?
Yes.
Ms. Kendrick?
Yes.
Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
And Mr. McGee?
Yes. The agenda is adopted. We will now move on to item 4.1, the consent items. Is there a motion to approve the consent items?
I move that we approve the consent items.
Is there a second?
I second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the consent items. Ms. Hicks, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Berger?
Yes.
Ms. Barmore?
Aye.
Ms. Coleman?
Aye.
Ms. Graves?
Aye.
Ms. Kendrick?
Aye.
Mr. Townsend?
Aye.
Mr. McGee?
Aye. We'll now move to 4.2, superintendent's comments.
Thank you, Mr. President. Number of things I want to bring to everyone's attention. I hope you can hear me. One, I wanted to say happy Diwali to many of our families and students out there. Diwali is the Hindu celebration at this time of year. It's a festival of lights. And I know we have staff and students who are celebrating this month. So happy Diwali to all those individuals. Pull up my comments here. You will see, just a reminder again, last month we talked about our CSIP, the Comprehensive School Improvement Plan, and look at the board agenda, you will notice that the items are placed in those categories. And you'll start to see us present monitoring reports in the different areas which are germane to the plan itself, around academics, around district level things, school level items, human resources, finance, and we'll help keep the board tracking on that. So look forward to those presentations starting next month, and we will do a quick overview of that document, and we'll direct the public to where they can find the reports and information on our website as well. Okay. That's it. Here's something you missed, Ms. Hicks? That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent. Were there any comments or questions to the superintendent?
No.
Okay. We're now going to move to 4.3, the board committee policy and procedures. Superintendent Obing.
Thank you. I brought this draft procedure for board recommendation. I know we've been working on developing our committees, and the board is eager to get started on the work around the committees. I thought it would be advantageous for the board to actually document their process, and we'll attach it to the policy. I know you have received it, so I won't go through it in detail, but if you look on the screen, you can see that it's laid out in terms of what the purpose is, the community responsibilities, the define the standing committees, meeting dates and locations, community agenda process, and other additional information. So I know the board has seen that. This will give us a documented process in terms of committee structures that people can just go to our policy and see the procedure and look to the reference, so you won't have to rely on our memories or ask questions through our office. And I'm hoping the board will receive that. So with that, Superintendent recommends that the board approve the administrative procedure on committees as an addendum to the policy BCE.
Is there a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation?
Mr. President, I move that we accept the recommendation of the superintendent.
Okay, there is a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation. Is there a second?
I second it.
Which one? Ms. Graves. It's been probably moved and seconded. Ms. Hicks, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Berger,
Yes.
Ms. Barmore,
Aye.
Ms. Coleman,
Yes.
Ms. Graves,
Yes.
Ms. Kendrick,
Yes.
Mr. Townsend,
Yes.
Mr. McGee.
Yes.
Pass 7-0.
We'll now go to 5.0, our October 22 financial updates from our chief financial officer.
Good evening, Board. Go to the financial variance report, budget. Nope. It's the other one. This one. No, where's the? It is not on there. The financial report is not out here. Well, it looks like the financial update is not showing under the financial updates. So I can tell you that September is 55.5% like it was. It has not changed, and I'll make sure that I can get that to you. You'll also see the bills to be approved for October. And then there's also the running list of contracts. And then under the financial updates, I did add a bank disclosure for the new bond funds. We're going to go with MOCAT. Is that bottom one? There we go. So this is a disclosure that we'll need to sign. It's like MOSIP, if you're familiar with MOSIP, but we're going to go with MOCAT, and they're also in the future looking at doing some other investments for us as well. So if this is approved in the financial updates, I will go ahead and have the signatures tonight and get the account set up for the funding to come through. So I apologize, I'm not sure what happened to the financial report. So, are there any questions for me?
Are there any questions for Ms. Wilson, Ms. Berger?
No.
Okay, thank you.
I need a vote for a recommendation to approve the financial updates.
Is there a motion to approve the financial updates?
I move that we accept the financial updates, the recommendations of the superintendent.
Is there a second? Okay, it's been probably moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? We'll now move on to our 2020.
Ms. Wiltie, if you need a chance later on tonight, can you email me that
Yes.
document? I'll reshare it with the board.
I'm
so
not
that's
sure
fine.
what happened with that, but yes, I want to make sure you get that this evening.
Yep, thank you.
We'll now move to 5.0, 2022 General Obligation Bond Resolution.
Okay, I am going to bring up Lorenzo Boyd to go over the interest rates that we're going to have on the $20 million bond. And at the end, there are going to be lots of documents to sign, so be prepared.
Good evening, everyone. Lorenzo Boyd with Stiefel. I want to say thank you for selecting us at the last board meeting we attended. We're grateful to be working back with the Hickmanmills School District on this transaction. On yesterday, we sold the $20 million of bonds that were authorized and voted upon by the citizens of the Hickmanmills School District. So on yesterday, we had the opportunity to sell those bonds. But before we went through that process, we actually went through the underwriting, the rating process as well. And I want to let the school district know that the district received and affirmed an underlying rating of A- from Standard & Poor's. So that's about in the top 25% of all school districts rated in the state of Missouri that have an underlying reading with Standard & Poor's. So we were pleased to get the affirmation of that rating. And then we also went out for municipal bond insurance. And that municipal bond insurance, you're rated AA. So with that, we priced the transaction on yesterday. We received 29 million of orders for just 20 million of bonds. So we were able to lower interest rates slightly because we had more orders than we had bonds to allocate. So we were able to lower interest rates throughout the pricing on yesterday. So we received actually a 20-year bond. We were able to secure interest rates of 5.02%. And so at that point, we'll be ready to close on 11/10, and actually we'll be able to deposit on 11/10 $20,976,917. So we were able to achieve almost $1 million in extra premium for the school district to close on 11/10.
Thank
So
you.
we were pleased with those results.
Thank you. Thank you.
And with that, I think we just have to approve the resolution this evening, and then, oh, and I did want to mention too, we had a minority firm that partnered with us on this transaction, and they actually put in for an art of almost $1 million on the transaction, so we were pleased with their results as well.
Thank you.
While Ms. Wiltie brings the documents for that, I want to thank Stiefel and Lorenzo directly in terms of the work you've done with our finance department. I know it had to be quick timing, especially with the rates and everything, and I'm glad to hear the results, that we're going to make some money already on that. So thank you so much for your efforts, and we look forward to receiving that check on 11/10.
Yes.
Well, and then it was great timing just because if you kind of read and look at MSNBC or CNN, you know the Fed is going to raise. They're talking about raising rates another 75 basis points at their next board meeting in November. They're talking about raising it another 75 basis points in December, and they're talking about another 50 basis points possibly in January. So if they do all those particular hikes, it's going to be 200 basis points higher just by January. So we're happy to get in right above that next Fed interest rate hike. So all we need is a resolution to pass the bonds, and then we'll be set to close on 11/10.
Mr. President, I motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation to approve the 20 million of the general obligation bond in accordance with the bond resolution to be approved by the Board of Education.
Is there a second?
A second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Ms. Hicks, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Berger?
Aye.
Ms. Barmore?
Aye.
Ms. Coleman?
Aye.
Ms. Graves?
Aye.
Ms. Kendrick?
Aye.
Mr. Townsend?
Aye.
And Mr. McGee?
Aye.
Pass 7-0.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll now move to item 6.1. The board secretary says we have no audience comments submitted. We'll now go to item 6.2, our ad hoc committee appointment. Superintendent, we'll go ahead and let you start on that. Ms. Hicks, would you pass it on now?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. President. As you know, we are embarking on some master planning with our facilities and buildings, and coinciding with that, a branding campaign in terms of moving forward with our vision of fine facilities. That will require the board to name a number of buildings, and today the president has brought forward an ad hoc committee that will follow the policy in terms of the process of bringing forward names that we may use in our program design. There will be an opportunity to name an elementary school name, a sixth grade center name, and then part of our middle school redesign, we will need at least 2 names that we'll have to use for the middle school level. And of course, the real world learning center will have to be named. I wouldn't be remiss if I didn't mention that, because Ms. Rowe would give me task if I left that one out.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. I'm looking for a motion to approve the committee. Is there a second?
A second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Ms. Barmore?
I have a question.
Hold on one second. It's been moved and seconded. Ms. Director Kendrick?
I just had to clarify, is this the committee you asked me to be on, or no?
It is, but we had to go, yes, it is, but we had, because of the policy, the board can't be involved in that committee. So,
Okay,
yes.
that's, okay,
So, that, the policy stipulates that, so.
okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are the members on this committee from all neighborhoods in the district? Are we well represented? Like the neighborhood by Ruskin, I know it's predominantly rental, but we have some longtime tenants, and I was wondering if this committee
I think the
represents
committee-
the whole
I
neighborhood.
think the committee is well represented. I mean, it's people from the eastern part of our district, the northern part of our district, the western side, and then it's students, staff, and non-certified staff on the committee. So, I mean, I think it's well represented of the district.
Okay.
Ms. Hicks, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Berger?
Aye.
Ms. Barmore?
Aye.
Ms. Coleman?
Aye.
Ms. Graves?
Aye.
Ms. Kendrick?
Aye.
Mr. Townsend?
Aye.
Mr. McGee?
Aye.
7-0 pass.
Passed by 7-0. We will now take requests for future agenda items.
Mr. President,
Yes.
the Finance Committee would like to, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Regarding our committee meetings, I just need clarification, I guess, on what we need to do. I mean, I do see what we approved today, but from my understanding, Mrs. Hicks thought that you had to approve our agendas, and per the policy, the board president doesn't have to, that is not part of your role to approve the finance committee's agenda.
I have to approve the agenda to be published for public record, and that's what I think she was referring to because it has to be noticed up.
So if for our committee structure, if we want to do our committee meeting, we'll send the agenda back to you?
Correct.
Okay, and then we can set up our meeting moving forward.
Correct.
Can I interject, just based on the I don't know if I can get can I share this on the screen? Yeah, can I share it without messing up everything else? Which room is it?
Switch it over to the Apple TV. It should say, let's see.
Okay, and then I have another issue that I would like to put forth on the agenda.
BOE.
Okay, good, perfect.
I guess while they're doing that, what's the other issue you had, Ms. Director Kendrick?
Well, for transparency, I would like that your weekly meetings with the superintendent or with the board attorney, that we get updates on that. So if that could be part of the agenda, to be provided updates for either closed session or open session, that we at least get update on your conversations,
That's fine.
things like that.
Yeah,
with
that's
the
no problem.
Superintendent and the board secretary. I mean, not the board secretary, the board attorney.
That's no problem.
Okay.
Superintendent.
Yeah, just quickly, just so everyone's aware, and you can go to this document to reference it. This is the process to get items. I think your question, Ms. Kendrick's talking about how do you get your committee started and how do you define what the agenda is, right? The committees are working for the board, so it should be something that the board wishes to investigate and come back to the board for information from that committee. Step one, items can be agreed upon by the president and superintendent for placement on the board agenda for the regular monthly meeting of the board pursuant to our policy. May be assigned by the board president to a standing committee for review and recommendation. So sometimes you might come up and you might say, we want a committee to investigate new shoes for the superintendent. And the president might say, well, that requires an ad hoc committee rather than one of the other committees, right? Step two, topics may be directed to the committee of the whole or the president, right? So as Ms. Kendrick is doing tonight, and then it can be delegated to that particular committee. And then the last last two are pretty similar. Individual board members' concerns that he or she wishes to be addressed within the committee should first be presented to the committee chair, then the board president, then the full board if needed. So once your committee started, there's concerns, hopefully you go to your committee chair first before you go outside the committee to the board president or to the board as a whole, right? And then lastly, the president may determine how the concern or topic is resolved by through these processes, either the president or he might relegate it to the full board, to the committee chair, or to the committee chair or the committee, depending on the topic. So if you have an item, you raise it here, and the president now can determine and say, yes, that's an item. So you can do it now if you wanted to, and then have your committee decide that that's going to be an agenda if the board agrees that that's an appropriate topic, then you may start that.
Okay, yes, I would like to, do I need to make a motion for that, or, no, okay. Or, since we have our, audit coming up, our committee would like to be able to understand the coding that Shelley uses so that we have a full understanding of the process. Ms. Berger can explain a little bit more.
That's fine. You don't have to explain here. That's fine.
Yeah.
I did want, and I also did mention, and I did want the board to know, I did mention to Director Kendrick, since she's sharing that, I would like, Ms. Wilsey, if you could, I would like the the financial updates that you provide to the board. I would like for you to present that to the finance committee first before you present it to the board, because they can go more in depth than more time than you have here. Because if there's anything to expound upon, the committee can ask those questions in committee. So
And then also, we just like to review the board budget.
that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you. So, Ms. Kendrick, then the only thing you need to do is let us know what the date is, so I can assign staff for the date and have Ms. Hicks appropriately warn the meeting, so the public knows, and your location, all that information, so.
I will get with my committee tonight and give you a date.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And then,
And just so everyone knows that these committees are open to the public, and so if you do it you can meet via Zoom. You don't have to meet in person. You can meet via Zoom, and so that Zoom link will be made available to the public online. So, and if you want to meet in person, it has to be noticed up within 24 hours so the public can attend.
Mr. President,
Yes.
it's funny you should mention that the Zoom link would be made public.
Yeah.
There's no Zoom link for Tuesday night's meeting or tonight's meeting. I would like to have a future agenda item to discuss the ways that the board is going to communicate with the public.
Okay. Ms. Hicks, do you have that down?
Yes, I can provide a little bit more clarification on that. So, as most of you are aware, we have had some changes with our IT structure. And so currently what we're doing, even tonight, is we're actually live streaming the board meetings on YouTube now, which is not something that we've done consistently. So as far as the Zoom link that you're making reference to, which we had done in the past, we're kind of moving away from some of that for our standard meetings, and we're live streaming the meetings directly into our YouTube page, which is accessible through the district website. Now, as far as the committee meetings, if you would like to have the public attend via Zoom, we can definitely set up a link to do that. But you also have the option of live streaming it through the channel as well. So you have some different options. It's just a matter of whichever one you'd like to do, we can do that. But as far as the actual board meetings, those are actually being live streamed now for YouTube versus the Zoom link.
So if they're live streamed through YouTube, that's one-way communication, is that not correct?
Yes.
One-way communication.
One of the ways, yes.
One-way communication, not two-way communication.
As far as the public being able to ask questions.
That is correct. So
That is correct.
if somebody wants to participate, but they don't want to get out because of RSV or COVID or the flu,
Mhm.
they can't send you a request and communicate through the live stream.
Not through the live stream, however, they can communicate. We do have a process in place for the public comments, and we have a link where they can fill out a form, and as long as their comment is related to one of the agenda items which the requester would identify, then we can add that most likely to the agenda for them to make those comments. That being said, they can make the comment, they can submit it in writing if they want to do that. Since we'll stream on YouTube, they wouldn't be able to really do that in the comment section of the board. So I understand your point that you're making with that. But they can submit their comment beforehand, and we can read that out publicly. Or if they wanted to, they're always more than welcome to attend in person.
and I have a question. So where is it located on our website? Because I didn't see it. So
Okay. Hold on, before we go down this road, this is about requests for items. I think let's just leave that for a future agenda item, because I don't want to kind of go down this rabbit hole and put Ms. Hicks in that position here today. So, we'll just put that on a future agenda item, Ms. Hicks, and then we can go from there. Is there any other requests? Yes, Ms. Coleman. Ms. Coleman, for your mic so they can hear.
Just to be clear, my education committee can go ahead,
Yes,
curriculum, I
Yes.
should say.
what would you like? Do you have an agenda item that you want approved tonight?
Yes,
Yes, what is it?
I wanted to explain how the curriculum is connected to the Missouri standards, education standards, because everybody does not know that. And then I just wanted to explain what I-ready means, because even a lot of parents don't know what that program is, and I know that the superintendent plans to go into detail on that. And I wasn't trying to step on any toes, but I know that a lot of people don't understand that.
That's more than fine. If that's what you want to do, I'm happy to approve those
Yes.
agenda items.
Can I clarify, Ms. Coleman, are you asking for, is that as an item for your discussion for your committee, or are you making a request for staff to come to your committee to share that information with
She's making a request to her committee.
Yes,
you? To just discuss those items?
yes,
Oh, okay, do you need any staff support on that?
no.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Are there any other requests for any other committees? Any other requests? Anything else for the board as a whole? Okay, we are going to go into closed session. I would like a motion to go into closed session.
Move that we go into closed session pursuant to 610.021, sections 1, 2, 3, 11, and 13.
Okay. Is there a second? Second. It's been properly moved and seconded to go into closed session. Ms. Hicks,